Hello everyone, Jeff here for Respawn Studios with a interesting look at a game I just bought. It was one of the launch titles for the Xbox One, and I love zoos and animals, but I've never been much of a Sims kind of guy. But I decided to give it a try because, again, love animals. I've always kind of wanted to play it. I've watched a couple of the clips in the Upload Studio. So here, this is me doing the first tutorial. I'm way past this now. I've done all 10 tutorials and my own zoo is up to like level 27. I have like 14 achievements so far, so I think I know some to talk about. If you have no idea what the game is, that's kind of why I made this video. It's kind of an introduction, and then my next video will be alright, this is actually how it plays, this is how it looks, this is how you could have the most fun. But okay, so Zoo Tycoon is in the same vein as Roller Coaster Tycoon, where you design amusement parks. Zoo Tycoon, you design a zoo, and you can do a lot of good things. It's not just you make animal pens, you pick up poop. There's a lot of other things to it. You can make, you can hire different staff and train up staff. You could have different entertainment kiosks. You could drive the different animal-themed carts around, which is fun. And no, you can't like go Grand Theft Auto style, even though there's a very hilarious vid like that in the Upload Studio where a guy like pretends like he's running people over. You can't. They move out of your way, even if it looks like you're hitting them. It just pushes them to the side. So it is like a kid-friendly game that way. You could do these little interactions, like where you squirt animals with hoses to keep them clean, or you could feed them. You could do a cool thing with the Connect where you like smile and a monkey smiles with you. It's like an imitation thing. That's pretty fun too. And then there is like standard things like taking care of the animals. You manage pens, you make sure that they're getting their social interaction, so it is like Sims in that way. You have to keep customers happy by actually building bathrooms and places for them to eat, so again, like Sims. You could have different advertising campaigns, you could do research. And it's kind of in the same branching trees that you might get in like StarCraft or Warcraft, which is pretty cool. So you start. There are a couple different modes also. There's the 10 tutorials where you learn how to play the game. Then there's what they call a campaign mode, which is just, I think it's 20 different scenarios that get progressively more difficult. And it isn't just single player. You could actually do co-op with up to 3 other friends in the same zoo. So that's kind of awesome. I haven't been able to try that yet, but I think Gino's going to get it, and we might put up our co-op. I'm sure it'll be an insane co-op zoo. So there's that. I think every mode is actually available through co-op. Then there's challenge mode, which is where you're just given the like entrance to a zoo and you do everything. You're given some money to start, obviously. How else would you do anything? But you're given very limited money. You can make like 1 pen, get 1 animal just to get you going, and then people start to come. You have to get money, build everything, and then keep track of everything. So just to explain the HUD a bit, in the top there you see your level in the middle, which increases. To the left of that is the money. And you see the 2 arrows, so it goes up at a pretty good rate because the zoo is doing well. And on the right is the amount of guests that your park is averaging. And you see it's on the uptake as well. So that's all good signs. But again, it's the tutorial. It should be that. You can also go into Zookeeper mode, which... So the standard... Well, I guess there is no standard. It's just your preference. You could either be in third-person mode, which is what I'm really doing here in the tutorial a lot, being right above or behind the person, walking around like right here. Or you could hit Y and go into Tycoon view, which is an overall view of the park. You can zoom in to a pretty good level or zoom out and see pretty much the entire zoo. And then you could hit X to ping different things, which means these little symbols come up. So you could ping what level your animals are, because sometimes that's related to challenges. You could release animals into the wild or get them adopted from a different zoo and things like that. So you could check that. You could check the cleanliness of the park, how happy people are, etc., etc. So there is, in terms of micromanagement, it does get pretty complex. There is a lot to keep track of, but even with all of that, I never really felt too overwhelmed. But I guess they did really design it with like a family, kid-friendly appeal too. So hopefully it won't be too hard for anyone. And here it just explains the different things. Yes, you can actually determine if you manually want to like select something and pick up poop. You don't actually walk around and like use a scooper. You just hit a button and it like disappears into like confetti. But there's that. You can upgrade things, like your breeding center. You could breed different colors of animals, varieties. There are different types of animal enclosures you can make that are related to different environments, like a tundra, a savanna. You can make a small, medium, or large of each of those. So it does get, again, pretty complex. And the large areas are actually kind of cool because they have unique areas like these little caves and waterfalls. And still at this point I haven't really experimented with all of it. You can even make like decorative things like statues. There are topiaries, there are plazas. So that's all pretty cool. And again, I've only done some of it. I've only played this for about 5 or 6 hours so far. And here I'm showing you probably everyone's favorite thing, just driving around, even though this is the only time I've used it really. There are even like races, which are challenges to deliver medicine, which I've never completed. They're really hard. You're only given like 45 seconds and you have to go all around your zoo. And like it seems to tell you like a direction when you hit a checkpoint where the next one is. So I try and come at it from that way, but then it's like the opposite or just some like random direction. So I've never been able to finish it. So your animals like don't die that way. I've never seen them die, but they can like get sick. But again, you could hire staff that takes care of them. You could hire janitors, you could hire breeders, you could hire people that feed and clean the cages. So it's all pretty cool. And you see this is one of the entertainment things, is a mascot. And there we go, I completed the tutorial. Alright, so here's just a quick look into Zoo Tycoon, and again I'll be back with a more diverse gameplay soon.